Whoa.
It's you guys again.
Brennan's here, though.
Brennan's here.
Save us, Brennan.
Hello, everyone.
Now, if you're sat there going, they don't normally have guests on Patreon episodes. Well, we've spent a lot of time together this week because we're pre-recording before we all go to Carl's thing. And we thought, you know what? It'll be a much better episode if we bring our good friend, Brennan Reese, in to lead the episode. So go on, Brennan, do the show.
You did message me, it might have been yesterday, and you were like, we're a bit done in. We're like, the pod's on its arse. We're down to our final 3 Patreons. We're sick of each other. Can you come in? And I did threaten to sit here for 2 hours in silence.
Well, we always have a general... one of the reasons we don't really tour the podcast and do like live shows of the podcast is we always notice that, because we do 2 episodes a week anyway, and one of them is basically a double episode because it's 4 sections. So it's like we do 3 episodes a week every single week for the length of most normal podcasts.
Well done.
So on top of that, if we then do a live show, it's like, it's like we're doing 4. And at some point, it just gets a bit stale. And this week, we've had to do the equivalent of 5 or 6 because he's getting married and we're all going to be over there. And not only are we all going to be over there, all our editors are going to be over there as well.
Yeah.
So it's got to be done, edited, and ready to go because we never miss. We don't fucking miss an episode.
No matter what, we are there.
So are there some ground rules for this Patreon then? Is it like no wedding chat? You can't look at each other in the eye.
I'm fine with that.
I'm here, mate.
I can nail that.
You're not allowed to get married again. That's the...
I am doing it in June again.
No, I mean...
That is only one day.
Yeah.
And Brennan will be that one. No, you can't come, can you?
I'm going to come to the night.
You're going to be late?
Late, yeah.
You're going to be late, yeah.
Just come into the Stone Cold Steve Austin music.
Yeah.
That's going to be my first dance.
When you got married, did it dominate your life for a bit?
It does, yeah. It does. It becomes the most important thing. I don't think it was quite the same level of organisation as a 2-parter, 1 local, 1 Tuscany. That's, extra in it.
Yeah.
But it does totally dominate the relationship. Laura's pretty chilled. We kept it relatively simple. And at the venue did a lot. Bradley at the Nottingham Glee basically went, I used to be a wedding planner, and then just took the whole thing.
It was a great wedding.
Oh, it was so much fun.
I wasn't invited.
He was invited, but this is the new narrative. Harry wasn't invited.
Harry was, how old were you?
About 11.
That would have been weird if he was invited.
Yeah, but I saw the potential.
Just comes through the post like Charlie Bucket and he goes, you can come the evening, dude. He goes, who the fuck are you?
So I don't envy you at all. And also, I'm glad I never have to do it again.
Is this 10 years ago when you went like chronically thin?
The Cambridge weight plan when I got
loved that.
addicted to skinny.
You're like a chubba chub. It was so sick.
He did look like a stick man, didn't
I
he?
loved it. Do you remember Celebrity Deathmatch? You look like one of them characters where they just bring them in made out of clay.
Yeah, my sister said my head looked too big for my body. She was
loved
right. I look like a bobblehead.
Genuinely, do you prefer being the weight you are now?
No.
Really?
No,
I'm not saying it's
I feel
happy medium, but then or now.
You feel heavy now.
Yeah.
So I think you've lost a bit this year.
I still feel heavy.
You were heavy last year.
Oh, thanks, lad.
No, but
Thanks, lad.
men need to be a bit dense and thick, and you are. You look silly.
Yeah. Who am I rumbling with as well? Laura's got a bit of fucking meat going, you know what I mean? Not in a disrespectful way. A lot of it's in the place that I like meat to be.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Fridge.
I think you look better now than you did when you...
I would, like, if you asked me, I'd like to maybe, like, trim another stone. But I went to, like, anything. Like, Mickey D. Do you remember Mickey D? Was one of the most fun pints in comedy. And everyone was like, he's an Australian comic from Adelaide. He made 2 New Zealand festivals. You know when one player just improves a team massively?
Yeah, he's brought
one
in.
One comedian improved both of those comedy festivals. He was just the most fun. And probably a few of his friends were going, I'm a bit worried about it.
Too fun.
But I wasn't one of his mates. I was just one of the comics that turned up. And he was like, you're a comic. We're friends now. Out till God knows what every night.
Yeah.
Absolute piss pot. Got on the shite.
Some would say drug addict, I reckon.
And
I think it was full addiction.
A few years later, he would.
Was he?
He'd say,
Was he a drug
addict?
Yeah.
I think he just basically went, I can't do any of this. He was one of those, the dam breaks guys where you're like, if you're doing it,
I think I'm really ignorant to people who take drugs a lot, you know.
It's because you're around it so much you don't notice
No, but
it.
I also don't think I notice the habits because I've never done it.
Yeah.
I think I'm just like...
Yeah, but some people have,
I've
some
never
people have
noticed
massive
you.
tells, and then all the sneaky ones are the ones who, like, I've got a mate who has probably done coke for 20 years, maybe more, and she does
a
it
big
in
line, that, innit?
She does
One
it
line.
just one continuous. She does it in a way that is just chips away at it, like those functioning alcoholics who never get absolutely twatted in front of you, but always have a beer when they're out, and then they're drinking at home, and there isn't those big signs that like, oh, this is definitely a problem. It's insipid, the right word, that sort of subtle, constant. So I didn't have loads of massive tells with it. Other people do. Mickey D was like on it, and then when he quit, he went fully the other way.
He went into that
and got
SAS,
addicted to health.
What's it called? Who Dares Wins.
Yeah.
At one point, he couldn't make it to a gig. This is when he was rep by Gag Reflex, because he'd done 5 ultra marathons in a week or something.
I saw him do an ultramarathon. I went to Perth and he was just running around like all day, just in a big loop. And everyone was like, on the last one, we're going to all run with him. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't do the loop.
But he went from full tilt party boy to then getting addicted to being healthy.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
Like it just moves.
But I
the
do that
addiction,
about
doesn't
4
it?
times a year. I go for like this.
You
is
should
the-
post.
you do it.
I think you should post about that more on your
But you
socials.
do it. You're very like on off. Like
Yeah.
it's not faddy's a
But
bit of an eggy word, but like you do it for a bit and then go back to normal settings.
I've started to accept this is who I am though, and I actually kind of like it because I do think it's a real shame with drugs and alcohol that the people who are the best at it have to stop.
Yes.
It's the only thing in the world where that's the case. No footballers playing so much football they have to stop until they reach an age where it's like your body physically can't do it anymore, and that's not to do with football.
I think that's all of them.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, it's no one's who's great at, like, the best scientists in the world is like, well, I'm doing too much science, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, the best drug and alcohol people are like, I've got to fucking pack this in, and I never wanted to have to do that. So the dangerous thing for me is 3 weeks ago I was 97 kilograms and I drank like 4 days in a week. And was like, fucking, better get into shape and lose a bit and stop drinking a little bit before Carl's wedding. When I was 3 weeks later, I'm just this morning is just over 90 kilograms, 7 kilograms gone in 3 weeks. I feel good. I look better in a minute. My clothes fit better. And that's all very good. And everyone's like, see, you can do it. And I'm like, yeah, but the dangerous thing is I know I'm always only 3 weeks away from feeling like this. Like, I can put 2 weeks into the wall, eat shite, and put 10 pints of Guinness away a day for 2 weeks. And if I just sort my head out for 3 weeks,
I remember being this
prime of
guy.
life.
That will get slower as you get older.
No, it won't.
Because how old are you now?
33.
Yeah, this is just about to change.
No, it's not.
The metabolism
myth.
gets
Do you remember
harder.
me just before COVID? I looked like Dan when he was getting married. I was so thin, gayer than now. And then
Only
COVID,
just.
I was just shoveling like fruit. And I was like, this will come off after COVID. It took me to have neurovirus a couple of weeks ago to lose a stone in a week. I just can't.
Good
How-
little side
how old are
benefit
you now,
that, don't
Brennan?
it?
I'm 38 and it just sticks to you. But I'm just trying to get rid. I wish you had this podcast
You know
in
that-
2018 because, oh boy, I would have slipped through this little gap here. But
I think that's healthier what you're doing. You're going, hey, I've gone a bit far there, I'll rein it back in.
Yeah.
It's what I did with the weight loss is I just went full swing. I was like 14 and a half, 15 stone. And 6-7 months later, I think I was like 10 and a half.
yeah.
I lost I got way too into it and overshot it. And then everyone's like, oh, he's got AIDS.
Did you have loose skin? Do you like Lisa Riley
No,
loose skin?
I was young enough that it all sort of tightened back in. I don't know if that'd be the case anymore.
Yeah, now you'd
That
like,
little, like-
do you know those suits a base jumper wears? That's what you'd be like. You just fling yourself out.
Well, the worst. So you say that's about age, but it is also about how big you start and how quick you lose it. Because a mate of mine years ago, he was a comic, and I think he still is a comic now. And I won't say his surname, but his name's Ed. You know Ed,
Yeah.
right? So when Ed started stand up, he was like Tony Carroll big. Like
He wasn't that big.
no,
He wasn't that big.
Brennan, he was.
He wasn't like a caramel keg.
honestly.
Hi, Tony. How are you? I hope you're well.
He knows. He
Poor old
knows.
Tony Carroll taking shots, mate.
He does.
He does know, yeah.
I'd say it to both of his faces. He knows. He's a good guy, but he must know. I know.
Does he know?
I'd say he knows.
Well, we've told him.
Well, sorry if you don't know.
On the right.
Oh.
See? Like,
He's Jack now, isn't he?
he was really big. But after he won that, so I think what you were picturing was him like a year after that, which is when he really got to know everyone. And then after that, he got really slim and in shape and ripped. So, like, a lot of people seen him at his medium and was like, oh, he was quite big anyway.
Yeah.
But
that's
he'd
what I
done a
said.
year of weight loss before that. And I remember, like, a few months after maybe you met him then, so he's halfway between what you first seen and the ripped guy he became.
Yeah.
He, like, I was saying to him, fucking hell, you look like great and you're doing well. Like, I'd love to be able to just shed it like you. And he went, yeah, but there is some drawbacks, you know, mate. And I was like what? And he showed me his arms. And he literally could, like, pull. He had, like, literal wings.
Like when you pull a projector down.
And he pulled his stomach out of his waistband.
Edinburgh
Like,
show.
he had like a full extra stomach, like tucked into his pants. Oh, like I don't know whether he eventually got like.
Tummy tucks are not like it's not. Oh, you just get rid of it.
They've not nailed it, have they, a tummy tuck?
Apparently, it wipes you
You just
out.
look like you've had a cesarean.
If you go swimming, it floats on the top of the pool. It's like someone's like deflated an inflatable obstacle course.
Like you got a little
And let's all
skin
admit,
dress.
it is better having a bit of meat on in it.
Absolutely. Of course it is.
I just want for a day to be fucking jacked. Just one day.
Oh, you
That's
want
my dream.
Yeah,
I want to just do that and book a photo shot, like shoot in, get Jack Finnegan to take pictures of that for me, and then that's who I am forever. Then I'll live digitally as an absolute fucking unit, and then just become a fucking fat mess again.
I don't think I'll have kids, but I can show other people's grandkids a picture and be like, look at that. And they'll be like, who are you? I'm like, look at me ripped. Look at me ripped also.
Have you made the decision that you don't want kids?
I think so. Well,
I mean, that's easier when he's single, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you single?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still want
Yeah.
kids, though.
You can do Hattie.
Brennan.
Yeah, you can get kids. On
I
your
can't
own
do
now.
a hattie, can I? I can't be like, I'm going to get some cum pumped inside of me.
You can.
Well, you could
Can
buy.
May I?
Not that way.
There should be, by the way, we're all aiming for equality, aren't we? So there should be a website now where you can go and they'll give you like a woman's egg. And I think if you just put it in the microwave on the right setting with a bit of your cum, fucking bosh, baby.
Or if you're a bit strapped for time, get it in the air fryer.
I think that should be a thing.
I think you could be. I think everything could turn around pretty quick for you.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I'm kind of undecided.
I've heard this rhetoric before. I don't know if it's for me. And then all of a sudden, you meet a girl in 6 months, and the thing about meeting someone in your late 30s is everything's on sort of two
times speed.
yeah, everything's sped up.
I used to go out with someone who had a kid. So I've had a dabbling in that where you go like, the school runs a lot, innit?
How old was the kid?
Like 7, 8.
Oh, right, okay.
But and also when you're not the dad and you try and put a bit of authority in there, fucking hell, it's brutal than any heckle you've ever had. Do you know when you like go to your room and it's like, you're not my dad. And you're like, I know, but and all you want to do is just twat the kid.
No, but I could have you in a fight.
I can't because his dad was massive.
Well,
shit.
Yeah.
It's got to be hard because I think adoption is different because then I do genuinely believe that you can adopt and it genuinely becomes your kid and you feel just the same connection as you would as if it was your biological child. But I do think in that situation where, you know, you're not all in because it's a relatively new relationship, but you're seeing someone who's got a child. Being a parent in any context, and that is a context of being a parent, is fucking hard, innit? Yeah. And you have to have that emotional connection where it's like, it's worth it because look what's mine. And you don't have that.
You
But
have
it's
to love
forever.
them. Otherwise,
It's forever.
You'd be. Oh my God. They're such an imposition, kids. They're like, we're fighting to get the childcare to go to Tuscany for a week. Like, I want to lie in the morning and Jack like pat us in like, morning. You have to love them. Otherwise you'd be like, oh, could just fuck off. Also, they're thick as fuck. They just walk into things, bang their heads. Again, you have to be like, oh, bless, it's mine. I've got to guide them through this period of their life.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've got
If you didn't
that.
love kids, you'd be like, just wander off. You'd release them into the woods.
Where are the children? gonna be? Well,
Jamaica. Funny you should use that accent.
where I was doing Geordie.
They're going sandals in Tynemouth.
I
At my mother-in-law's, God bless her. Fucking great. That's why we have to fly from shitty Luton.
I've got a question for you all. Do you all think I'm ready for my first pair of Birkenstocks?
You've not got Birks?
No.
What ones are you looking for?
The
Well,
thing is, if you love them and you look after
I
them...
can't have the open toe ones
No.
because
no,
my
you can't.
feet are fucking revolting. If I wear open toe sandals, it looks like I've got them on the wrong feet because my
Do you like you
because
got
my
rickets?
feet turn out. Like, you know, like if imagine a shoes like the edge of the shoes like that, and your big toes meant to go into that corner. Well, mine goes that way. So like this corner of the shoe is just empty.
You can get Birks. I got Birks for...
Yeah, it's like an open casket, innit? You can't... if it's been a mafia killing and they've been shot 8 times in the
I
head...
don't know whether I've showed you this before.
No, you
You
haven't.
need, you need a closed casket.
So,
Can we go barefoot?
see my feet like have that gap in the middle?
Yeah.
Like they go,
That's perfect for ballet.
yeah.
But I
That's
don't.
how
I
they
think
ended
your
up
ballet days might be over, mate.
That's what they've always said to us.
Give it 3 years, the cowboy hat will be in the bin. And
Did
it's
anyone do
wandering
ballet
around.
at your school? I'm
Oh.
joking, Colin.
Oh, bloody hell.
Really? Hang on, let me think.
By the way, people keep saying this. People keep calling my country thing a phase. And I would just like to say, I also get called fickle by some of our fans who think they're all funny and want to join in with you two. Like, oh, you fickle, you do all. I don't think I'm fickle at all. I think I try things, and when I love them, I keep them. Like, how long's a phase? Because I've been a countryman for, what,
2 years?
5 years now?
No.
Wow. The podcast is 5 years.
4 years.
I'd say you've been a country bastard for 2 years.
You might have been country adjacent for 2
Yeah.
years before that, by country, but then you fully transitioned into full country.
2-3 years ago, you were wearing trackies on the pod. You weren't wearing cowboy hats.
And those like tops which look like
2 years
static.
ago, we went to Nashville, and we went to Nashville because I was a countryman.
No, but you weren't. You're not as much as you are now. Now you're a fully fledged country bastard. Back then, you were like,
It was like when people go Mecca. Like they're a bit Muslim, and then they go and see the cube, and then they go, I'm into this. They put the hat on, they put the shoes on. No, they take the shoes off actually.
Is that leveling up? Is that the one?
That's when you're full in, and then they know all the songs.
I think
The
it's
5 different call to prayers.
I mean, that's not a Patreon special we're doing anytime soon, is it? The Mecca special. I
You
think
going around in a Cadillac.
I'd rather do Nashville 2.
I'm into going to Mecca. Like, I want to see what it's all about. Loads of them love it, so they must be all right.
Do you know what's in the cube? Philip Schofield doing
Schofield.
games.
He is not welcome there. Trust me.
I don't think you're funny. I don't think it's anything wrong trying new stuff. I think the way you package your interests is why you get flack for it down the line.
You go all in.
Because you go, that's it, me now, I'm a golfer, I'm a golfsman.
I am a golfer.
I love golf. And then what happens is your interest wanes and we don't hear about golf for a year. So everyone's like, oh, I thought Adam was a massive golfer.
But I am
That's
a
what
massive
happens.
golfer.
At the
I just haven't
time
been
when
talking
you
about
get
it as
in-
much.
yeah, exactly. At the time you get into something, you're like, life changed. This is me forever. Like, I don't think you ever sort of accept the like changing nature of your interest at the point of like
new
beginning your
thing.
interest. Yeah.
Well, can you give me an example of something?
The example game. My favourite game. Where if you can't give him an example, he's won. And if you do, he goes, that's bullshit. You're a liar. It's the unbeatable arguing technique of Adam Rowe.
I think golf is the prime example. Because at one point, you still play golf.
Yeah.
You play golf as much as anyone else who loves golf. At one period, you couldn't stop talking about golf, and that has waned.
And you did come in dressed as a golfer that one time.
I didn't. This is another myth as well. I didn't come in dressed as a golfer. I had a game of golf straight after the pod.
I know,
Yeah, but
you've
I
had
wouldn't come in my trunks if I'd been for a swim. Just with a towel around my head.
I think they're different. Like I was leaving here and driving straight to the golf course, and there's etiquette on a golf course, okay? So you have to turn up ready, in your stuff, ready to go. You don't get changed. You turn up in your golf stuff, and in here, I can wear whatever I want because it's my gaff.
If you had a game of footy after this, you wouldn't have your Astros on under the table.
Yeah, you 4-year-old
'cause you don't have
shin
to
pads.
because I also didn't have any golf shoes on.
No, but you had everything else on.
Yeah. And if I was playing footy, I'd have me kit on.
You'd have her on
You
that
wouldn't
day,
have your
you'd change.
kit on.
No, I wouldn't.
So you do this podcast with shin pads on?
You don't work who plays in
And a
shit.
captain's armband.
All you've done there is make yourself look like a gimp. I've got 5-a-side and my shin pads and my elbow pads and my helmet.
We had to wear shin pads for ours.
5-a-side.
Yeah, on a 5-a-side. I had beef with my 5-a-side league.
You haven't got studs on.
I got knocked out in goal, and they played around me when I was knocked out on the floor.
A lot of respect for you in
And
that
I was
group.
I was in goal as
Because you
well.
had the
So,
shin pads on.
and they didn't call an ambulance, and I had to, and it was in my old school, and they were like, "Go to the sports hall." And I went, yeah, and I went the wrong way.
Because you were
And then-
knocked out.
CTE that.
Maybe you were doing a better job as a goalkeeper unconscious.
What was like a draft excluder?
Yeah.
You were
Especially
like,
in
to
a
be honest,
5-a-side net.
he's super effective lying down.
They gave us free kits for it.
Brennan played comedians footy with us for a bit, and for the first like 3 or 4 weeks was one of the worst footballers I've ever seen. And then on week 5, just turned into like prime Paolo Maldini, and no one could get past him.
No, I think on week 5, James Allen started playing. You're like, oh.
No, I was on Rob Thomas, and I end up not physically flooring him, but like knocked him. He couldn't get past.
he
I was,
doesn't move.
It was just a role I was playing for.
Brilliant game.
My favourite thing after the first week, so we'd been gigging a couple of years together, so I knew each other a bit.
Yeah.
And I just came off and you went, you just look like you would have been good at football. And it stuck with me so much. I was literally like, it reminded me of being picked last every fucking football game. This is how bad I was at football. I used to play for this team. I didn't. I used to go up on Thursday and pay me subs, and then on Saturday stand at the side. For this team called the Young Aldwinians. And then my dad came one day and they let me just come on for the last 5 minutes of the match. But I had these big Harry Potter specs on, took them off, went up for the corner, ran into the post because I couldn't see where I was going, hurt myself, subbed off within a minute. And my dad didn't even go like, well done. He was like Stephen Graham in Adolescence. He's like, why did you do that? How could you do that? I was like, I didn't do that. He was fucking fuming.
I used to play cub football.
Cum football.
I used to play cum football with Rob Thomas. I used to play cub.
Power
Were
left
you never
back.
in the Cubs?
Oh, cub. I genuinely thought you said cum football. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, that was my.
Cub football sounds gay.
It was.
We're against the Bears.
That was so bad. I got put in goal once just because I kept getting hit by the ball, and they were like, "I think he's just got. It's in his nature to. The ball's just attracted to him. You know, just by chance in practice.
Yeah.
I had stood where the ball was getting twatted. Like I just got hit 3 times, and they were like, "We'll put him in goal." And they tried it for a game. I lasted 20 minutes.
This is the day where Dan found out he actually got bullied at school. People just volleying footballs. Like, you're always in the way, you aren't you? Fuck.
Oh, getting bullied at Cubs would be so much worse. School,
Where'd
at least
you
you could be
go?
like, I got bullied at school. You got bullied at Cubs.
Steve,
You
Steve,
shit,
swaggle
bit of a
back.
whack, yeah.
Steve's great at football, he really is. But I've never seen anybody get hit in the face more than Steve. And you know he's been hit in the face because glasses just go whoop.
Hang on, do
happened.
you wear the Edgar Davids? Because you can't wear your normal glasses.
No, he wears the glasses. He wears them glasses to play in. And they've come off his head 20, 30 times since I played with them.
You can't wear glasses at footy, can you?
You had to wear
does.
goggles in.
This is indoor footy. I mean, not that it matter, but he wears them. But he gets hit in the face more than most. And that is right, isn't it? Yeah.
Stick him in goal. Knock
At
him
Sunday
out.
League, growing up, you had to wear goggles if you had glasses. And there's only one team.
Prescription goggles or just
There's
stop the water
shin
getting in?
pads, arm.
Yeah, like if so. This was when I was like properly like young and playing in goal or whatever. But there was a team called Lawmac, and all of them wore goggles, and they were always last.
You sure that's swimming?
Well, I think yeah, they turned up to the wrong sport, but they got battered every week because they were all the specky ones.
Yeah, because they haven't got no peripheral vision. Just play round. them.
It was like small. It wasn't like snorkeling. It
I'd
was
love
like,
to. have
If
been
you
a
turn
tiny
up
one.
to a match and everyone is wearing snorkels on the opposition, you expect to win, don't you? I think we should maybe let them have a few goals.
I remember seeing what my brother used to go and play 5-a-side. He's 10 years older, so I'd sometimes go and play with all of his mates. And one of his friends, Pete Ankers, got the ball booted in his face that hard. He went blind. That sounds like something you'd make up at secondary school as I said it out loud, but he went blind.
it's like Biker Grove.
Forever blind.
I think maybe for a week because now he can see.
Forever blind. I don't want to be forever.
But imagine for a week. I think that'd be scarier.
No.
Do you not reckon? I'd rather go blind forever than a week.
That's
No, I don't think.
lie.
No, because that implies that a week into being blind, you'd be like, "Do you know what? I'm all right with this."
I reckon a week in, you'd know your way around
Around where?
the house.
And that's all you need.
Yeah. Well, you're not going out, are you? At 14, I'm not being like, Mum, just go in.
Blind people go out. That's what they
got
need
to
the
go
dogs
out.
for.
They don't have to go out.
No, everyone has to go out.
No one has to go out. Have you ever seen Jerry Springer? Do you know when they get the big fatties in and they,
Oh yeah, no,
they get
that's because they can't go out. But these blind people need to be able
they
to.
don't have to go out.
You couldn't live at home forever.
You could.
No, I do think we're at the stage with technology where you could. What do you need to leave the house for?
And also,
By the way,
what
this
you
is
go
a
looking
dangerous
at?
thing to tell Carl because he will just never leave his house again.
What do I need to leave the? I mean, work for starters.
Yeah,
No, you could do that on Zoom. It
we
needs
could.
must.
We could do this on Zoom. We never will.
Ian Sterling the other week, he's basically got his system down to just staying at home, hasn't he, work-wise, and he's doing great.
Even if you got invited, for example, to your wedding, you could just pop me in the garden, put a patio heater on and play some My Amore. And I'd be like, what a wedding that was. I wouldn't know, would I?
There's loads
Pretend
of
you
weddings
could
at
have-
home. I mean, probably not in a terrace.
Swimming. You don't have to go swimming, do you?
You could definitely live at home forever. You don't have to go swimming, no.
That was a great little connection from Carl. What about when I want to go swimming? I suppose I could just not go swimming.
Do you know when I was at school, everyone who wore goggles, when they went swimming, they had to wear glasses? Mad that, innit? So you're telling me you think you would never have to leave food, Deliveroo?
Yeah, there's got to
Yeah.
be one.
Supermarkets deliver.
Yeah.
Clothes.
Amazon pretty much provides everything in the world.
And also
My mate sent me 12 beers on Amazon
What, for a laugh?
for my birthday. He was like, I'm not around.
That's what he told Laura when 12 beers arrived at the door. Oh, my friends sent me 12.
12 red Peroni. Mate, who needs Vicky wine anymore? Just fucking 12 red Peroni on Amazon.
You know, Garrett Millerick did that for me in the first lockdown.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, the second lockdown, 2021. He texted me and he was like, I've just seen on Instagram, it's your birthday, happy birthday, man. He went, bit weird, but can I have your address? And I sent him and I was like, what do you need that for? He was like, you're seeing about 20 minutes. And 20 minutes later, like a load of snacks and 6 beers turned up at the door. And they were like, for Adam. And I was like, what the fuck's this? And then I was like, oh, I text Garrett and I was like, was this you? And he was like, yeah, it's your birthday, innit? So there you go,
That's so
six
great.
beers and some like crisps and chocolate in there. Fucking
so
sick.
good.
He's like, well, you can't go to the pub, can you? So you might as well have a pint in the house.
I think it's a baller move, gifting alcohol, getting it sent. I like it. It's a good sort of posted gift. Will had his stag do, and his best man, Chris, I sent him a bottle of whiskey afterwards. I love that move. It's fucking great because you don't have to do anything. You have to go, ba, 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 I'm sound.
Yeah,
Right.
but you have to nail it, don't you? You have to find out what they drink. You
Yeah,
have
so I just asked Will. And then went on and did that thing that I do whenever I'm buying wine for someone. I go to the supermarket and go, I'll not be a cheap cunt and get like the £4 bottle, but I'm not showing off and getting a £12 bottle. So I think they're getting
but
like
you
an
should
£8
get the £12 bottle because
No.
that £4 means nothing to you because you're earning more.
Hey,
Johnny
But that
Paycheck.
£4, Johnny Paycheck over here. So that £4 is so negligible. Like if you're a regular wine drinker, I understand going, oh, I'll get like the £6, £7, £8 bottle all the time because that, like, if I drink a bottle of wine or 2 a week, that adds up. But as a present, that extra £4 to the buyer is so negligible. You should get it because the person you're getting it for will be so much more grateful than for the £8.
Now, if you go in co-op and there's like a £11 bottle down to 8, I'm like, mate, I'm getting them the £11 bottle, but I'm making the savings. I don't never get the cheap one, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm a good guy.
You are quite
Look at me.
frugal, aren't you, though?
Look after the penny.
Not in a negative way, but you are quite financially literate.
No, yeah.
Well, he's not like him. You just go mad, you. You're like, I've bought another pair of shoes.
That's a good thing,
I got
though.
responsibilities, man.
Yeah, if you've got kids, so you have to be.
I'm not as bad as I used to be with shoes.
Yeah,
That's
it feels
a
like
lie.
you've won the pools sometimes.
No, you're not as
He
bad
has
as you
like
were.
of life.
What?
You're not as bad as you were about 2 years ago.
No, I'm because I'm buying a house. I'm a bit more like, oh, maybe just one pair of shoes
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, but
When you were in
if
that-
you want to wear some fucking nice gear, live near a charity shop that's near Adam's house, and you will be flying.
Well, I've
mate.
started putting my stuff on Vinted because
fuck
I
charity.
have that many sort of like clear outs every year. Like I've started putting stuff on Vinted, and like someone bought the jacket I wore on my last special this week. got a bargain with that as well, by the way. Fucking whoever got that. Yeah. And I put them on there first, and I leave it on Vinted for like a month, 6 weeks. And then if it doesn't go, then I take it to the charity shop.
And mate, I spend some money, but then I do have a little thing in my head like, all right, chill out now. Like I just got too much shit to...
I've got that from my mum as well. Yeah. My mum was, I mean, she was never short of money. She was a single parent, but she was always like smart. Like,
she's still single now?
She is still single now. Yeah, she's going to the wedding. Oh, you're not going.
Got a few fuck buddies.
Were you just offering your mum out then? Yeah, no, she is still single, going to the wedding. So she'll have a few in her. You never know what happens.
A few what? Drinks.
Red Peroni.
Yeah, a couple of red Peronis. I don't think you can call them that anymore.
But I've got that, and I've got like a thing where no money to me is a certain amount of money. So I'm like, if I drop below that, then I'm panicking.
I'm the same.
Are you the same?
I only buy things if it's in the sale. It might be an expensive thing, but it's got to be in the sale. I just have this thing. I love going to like an outlet village, and then I go, oh, I've spent some money, but it's a little treat.
Yeah, but if you're doing that 3 times a week,
yeah,
that's the thing.
It's ridiculous.
Like in your head, you're like, wow, I've made a saving. The outgoing's still a chunk. But like my sister used to do that with every bit of clothing. Like, oh my God, guess how much this was, and guess how much I spent. You're like, yeah, but you're in debt. It's all good. What, you've cheated the system.
I do think how you are with money is heavily, heavily, heavily influenced on your upbringing.
I think it's 100% based on.
And I didn't really notice this until when I was in my first serious relationship. And so when I was growing up, we were like the poorest family on our street, and our street wasn't like particularly affluent, but everyone else had like at least one parent with a good job. And
yeah.
A lot of the had like 2 decent jobs. So it was a council estate, but people were starting to like buy up the council houses because they would like add a job decent stuff that they could then buy it. But like my mum was, disabled and then in and out of like part-time work. And my dad was a painter and decorator, which was, he had work maybe like sort of 8 months of the year, and the other 4 he was looking for his next job sort of thing. So we were never like particularly like sort of well off at all. Never went abroad, never went on like foreign holidays. But at Christmas every year, because my mum really wanted us to keep up with the Joneses and never wanted me and my brother to feel like we were missing out on, she would go into debt every Christmas, buy Christmas presents with loans, then spend the next year paying those loans off so the next Christmas she could do that again. So that...
I think a lot of people are still doing that.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
But that sort of breeds into your children and me. Like, if you haven't got it, just borrow it and then figure out and pay it back in a bit. So that's like sort of the start of our friendship when Carl got his student loans and he didn't need them.
He
got our student loan because I borrowed it off him. It took me fucking years to pay it back. And then
a good vig.
That was always my attitude was, if you haven't got it, you can probably get it from somewhere and then pay it back. Like I got Wonga loans that fucked me up for a bit and stuff. And when I was in my first serious relationship, the way because she'd been brought up in a really poor family as well. But the way her parents had dealt with that was, if we haven't got it, we haven't got it. You don't get it. There was no like, at Christmas I'll borrow so you get the stuff. She was like, yeah, we're skint and you're not getting what everyone else has got because we haven't got it. Their parents work. We haven't got the money at the minute. You're not having it. So then I remember, I can't even remember what I was buying or like needed money for. But I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to get a loan to this. And she was like, you don't do that. That's insane. You'll pay more back. And her attitude was so driven into it from her parents that it was like, you don't do that. You can't afford that. So you don't borrow it because you definitely won't. If you can't afford it now, you're not going to be able to pay the interest on the loan on top of the actual cost. And my attitude from my mum and dad was just figure it out in a bit. Just get it and whatever. And I remember like we had like an argument, strong word, but like a sort of an eggy discussion about it where at the end of it, I was like, oh, this is literally just because of the parenting that I've come up with.
Mine's driven into me to be terrified of debt.
By the way, the borrowing the money is the well more fun option. Like, just, like, it might be sensible to be like, we haven't got the money, so we can't have it. Like, bore off. Like, it's so tempting to go, yeah, but I want that holiday and I want a nicer car.
You borrow the money from the man who knocks on your door every Friday asking for the payment back, and when he knocks on the Friday, you turn all the lights off and you hide in the kitchen.
Well, it's funny you say that. My sister, this is why I've never had a credit card in my life. My sister went mad on all those payday, the Wongas and all that when she was like 20 odd. She was just fucking, but she was putting them all on my mum's address. And then I was probably about 14. And during like half term, my mum was like, some people might come and knock on the door. And if they do, don't answer it because they're going to take everything. And my sister to this day, like there was bailiffs knocking on all the time. And to this day, my sister's paying like £1 a week back till she's like 408. She just went, fuck it. She can't get a credit card whatsoever. But they were just handing them out left, right and centre, weren't they?
Yeah.
Can the bailiff take your door?
No.
Because then they're in, aren't they? That's clever.
Yeah.
There's different like sort of applications that the bailiffs can make. So some of them can force entry, but you still have to open the door in the first place. They can't break the door down.
They love putting the foot in the way.
Yeah.
That's my TikTok
They can,
algorithm.
Like, if you open the door a bit, they can like force the door open and come in.
Can they? Yeah.
Like
Some
vampires.
of them. Some of them can. And other ones can't. So like they have to give you like a warrant or whatever, and it's right to entry and whatever.
There's ones that can get in through a window if it's open. Imagine
Yeah.
that, just dog the bounty hunter coming through your window.
It's the middle of summer, all the windows closed.
And also, if you live in like a shared house or if you live with someone else and they come in and go, right, we're taking the telly. If your housemate goes, that's not his telly, that's mine, I paid for that. Then you have to prove it's not yours.
And then just behind him is the TV license guy. And he goes, what telly? And he goes, I don't know what you're fucking taking.
There's just a queue.
How do they quantify what they're taking?
They guess it.
So
They literally guess
say
it.
you won't. Say you
Say
won't.
they came in here
$5,000.
right now, they might go, right, that telly, a second-hand set, we might get 80 quid for that. So if you owe £1,000, they'll go, right now, we need 920 left.
So they're just making it up.
Yeah.
Just get loads of art and then go like, that's worth $1 million.
No, but
they're not popular
they
people,
get
are
to
they?
guess it.
Yeah, but then
Yeah, you
look how
don't
posh
get
his
to
art
go.
is.
Yeah, but what if they come back and go, £5 for the telly?
You can query it, but it's very difficult to do it. They get to just guesstimate what they think it's worth, and then they go, we've got enough to cover you that day, but they obviously underestimate it all. So like that telly, obviously, you'd probably get more than 80 quid for it, but they'd go, yeah, 80, so 920, and that sign, I mean, yeah, that's probably up.
There's not
20
much
quid,
resale
like-
on that.
That's what they used to do at Aldi, wasn't it? Do you know when you were on the checkout, they didn't have any barcodes and they'd just go, it's broccoli, 4p.
When was this?
Like the 90s. They had to remember all the things. Do you not know this?
Oh, for like fresh produce.
No, for everything.
What?
Yeah, they didn't. Like they were just going like, tin of beans, 60 quid. Like it was just madness.
Brennan, I'm not calling you a liar, but that doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right that someone in the till was like, I'll just weigh your bag. Oh, that's at
I
least
think
20
that's
quid.
you asking for things from your mum and they go, they'll charge us 100 quid for that.
I'm pretty certain that's why they got paid. The people who used to work at Aldi got paid pretty well. Probably back in the day, maybe like 8 quid an hour, but in the 90s because they were remembering.
No, customers did not have to guess prices at Aldi.
Not customers. Customers weren't going through and going. It wasn't like those things where you can get a PS5 for 6 quid on a betting website. It was the
Staff.
No,
Is the
Aldi staff did not, in the 1990s, did not have to guess prices.
No,
So I
but
don't know what kind of
they had to
dodgy-
remember all of the things and they just put in the numbers.
Like Rain Man.
Yeah, like Rain Man. It was just autistic. That's what the A in Aldi stands for. Autistic Line Dildo Initiative. That's what he was. It was the word for. I swear to God,
Under pressure,
they
you
didn't
did
have
really
that.
well.
No, I know.
Dildo Initiative.
But
That's like a greengrocer's. Like an old-fashioned greengrocer's.
I swear to God, they had no barcodes. They were just.
They were all rapping.
Yeah.
Hello, lad.
Can I just get me shopping, please, mate? No,
Put
hang
that
on.
in there. Harry, have a look right now. Did the staff have to remember all of the prices?
Well, that's
what
like
I've
a
Googled.
normal shop, though, isn't it? Like when you,
No, not a supermarket.
no, but like the little independent supermarkets are like that. You do got like there was a fella called Mr. Kelly, and Mr. Kelly's
Matthew?
on.
The guy from Saturday
Matthew
Night.
Kelly used to run the greengrocers on Dovey Shop. Years ago.
Yeah, no, that's you're inventing that. I think what you mean is,
But other people have remembered it.
so
as
like
well,
the fresh produce, they haven't got a screen that is all saved on. So they go, oh, apples are 15p, aren't they? They haven't
Yeah.
got that because they haven't got a barcode on. I think anything with a barcode on, the computer knows how much it is. But if it
There
has,
wasn't computers.
no, but the till, sorry. But I think if it's not, if it's fresh produce, they're like, right, I know a bag of apples is 50p.
Do you know the really cunty thing with debt is, and this is the really nasty side of it, is when you've got a debt with someone, like a company, and then some shark company buys that debt for like whatever money on the pound, and then like you don't owe money to the company you borrowed to buy something or to get a service, and then you've got those fucking snakes coming after you. And if they send you a letter, they're like, you owe us, it's going to be $2,000. And if you miss that letter, they're like, well, that letter costs 200 quid.
Yeah.
Because like paper's expensive, isn't it?
it should be
I had to do all this typing. And then those debts build up, so people are just fucking swamped in debt. And actually, that company have just paid 20 pence on the pound.
Yeah. They're just. Did you ever see what John Oliver did years ago? It was so mint on whatever his show is.
Is it Last Week Tonight?
Something like that. And he, as a production company, they bought loads of debt. As in, like, it was the world's biggest giveaway on telly. So they bought loads of people's debt, and then they just went, it's cleared. It was so mint.
Sick.
I saw that.
Hasn't
So we did that recently with 100
Sheen?
grand.
What's it
Michael
called?
Sheen done it, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the company Shein.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
I think Charlie Sheen's just done it.
Did
for
he?
a load of people in Wales.
Another drug debt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's good at doing impressions of other people, isn't he?
Michael Sheen did it for a mining town in South Wales.
Yeah.
He just bought it all and was like,
Wiped
yeah,
it.
no, you're all fine.
That's
fucking
so mint.
sick.
That's such a baller move. That's better than 12 Peronis turning up at your house.
I'd love that. Paying off everyone's debt.
Yeah, so if you've got enough money where you wouldn't notice, why not do lovely things?
So that's the thing with billionaires, isn't it? When people are like, oh, they were 260 billion. I know that's not like cash in their fucking current account. But at what point should you just be doing good things with that excess of
The
money?
thing is, what a lot of people don't, and I'll never be one to like defend billionaires. A lot of them are very
Indian.
very
Especially those ones that keep sending me emails and trying to transfer it to my house.
Philanthropic.
philanthropic. Like they are doing a
Oh,
lot of stuff.
absolutely. Yeah. But when you're just accruing wealth, like Michael Sheen did that with, I think he cleared £1 million of debt,
Wow.
didn't he? And I think he'll have done that by acting like one of those fucking shark debt companies, buying debt for 20 pence on the pound. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was £1 million worth of debt for 900 people. As in, like,
And
I
he
think
would have-
What the
combined,
fuck
like,
have
it
they
was
been
900.
buying?
It's only £1,000 each.
What?
It's only just over £1,000 each.
Is it?
Yeah. Good
I
man.
want to know what the fuck they've been buying.
Yeah, he didn't clear £900 million of debt.
Danny McLaughlin had to do this on a very small scale for me.
Did he?
When I lived with Danny, I
Mining
was
town in Wales.
I got the train over to Liverpool once, and I had my feet up on the train,
Yeah.
and they sent the letters to my dad, but my dad's mental health wasn't great at the time, and I wasn't getting any in my mail. Not that I'd have fucking opened.
What, you
it
got
anyway.
like a fine for minging feet?
Yeah, for having horrible feet. They were like, oh, you can't have them.
Them open top Birkenstocks.
And one day a bailiff knocked at our door on Eamon Road in Chester. And I was like, I know nothing about it. He's like, well, I'm not asked. Like, I've got me fucking warrants and I'm coming to take your stuff. So he came in and Danny was there. And Danny was like, Adam's room's upstairs. Everything else is mine. Like, everything. And he wasn't even lying. Like, the telly was his, coffee machine, like, everything was fucking Danny's. And he was like, yeah, you've got to prove that it's yours and prove that it's not his. Because he lives here, I've got the right to assume everything is his until you prove otherwise. So Danny was like, well, I can't. And he was like, well, have you got the receipt for the telly? Does it link to your bank card or Adam's? And Danny was like, I've had the telly for 5 years. Who keeps the receipt for the telly? He's like, well, I'm taking the telly. And Danny was like, you're not. And he's like, right, how much is the fine? And I think it was just, because it had like got to that stage, it was just over £1,000, I think.
For your feet up.
How much was the initial fine?
Like 70 quid.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you know, you didn't answer 4 letters, so now it's £1,000.
And Danny like went upstairs, and it was back when comedy clubs used to pay it in cash, and he'd just done like a
Good old
weekend at the
days.
store. And he went, yeah, go on, fuck off. Paid it all. And Danny was just like, just pay me back whenever you can.
Danny's sound with that sort of stuff, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is when people are trying to take his telly. I'd get pretty generous at that point.
Yeah.
You paid it back.
Yeah.
I still owe a guy called James 80 quid from uni, and I feel bad about it all the time.
Get in
Oh,
touch,
can we get
James.
it in back?
He's
Ja-
got the money now.
James from Kenilworth.
Why? What is your? Is it?
He just lent me 80 quid and then I quit uni. I never saw him again.
He quit uni.
No, I quit uni.
Oh, you quit. Oh,
Yeah, I
so
just
you
fucked
ran
off.
off.
Invest that £80.
Tell you what you
What's
should-
80 quid worth now? 80 quid in 2001.
I'll go 97.
I've got an idea.
No, it's worth 200 quid.
No.
He's 80 quid in 2001
Oh, 2000. Oh yeah, maybe.
is
Yeah.
definitely worth.
No, I reckon
No, the inflation is gone.
it would have gone down. Like
Inflation has gone down.
no, but they
in
had the
23 years.
the crash.
No
Not
inflation.
the 2001 one, the financial crash.
£116. £116 and 15 pence.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Okay, how about this?
I'll try and find it.
Got an idea. What's his surname?
I don't know.
James.
From Kenilworth.
James from Kenilworth. If this is you, get in touch. What I'd like to do is propose something. Dan owes you £116
52 pence.
and 52 pence. You obviously aren't missing it. If you are missing it, you can have it. But I think we should take Dan to a casino and you should get to pick one number on the roulette and he should have to put £116 on that one number, one spin. And if it comes in, we all buy yachts, baby.
What type of yacht?
Wouldn't we have just?
Is James,
Remote control yachts.
is James getting a yacht?
Wouldn't we have like 36 grand or something?
Yeah, we're getting discount yachts.
No, it'd be like 3,600.
Sorry, yeah. Big yachts.
Did I ever tell you the time that I was in New Zealand and me and my friend Lucy put $40 down on? We went in. There's like the Sky Tower, and we went had a look up there, and then we went down. She goes, "Oh, I'll show you the casino." We both put $20 down each on number 7. Came up straight away, and it paid for like 2 weeks. We just drove through New Zealand.
How much did you get?
It's 720 quid each.
Yeah,
Nice.
but at the time I was like, "This is mint." And then there was this Chinese guy who was just paying in cash, and he was fucking fuming because he was just losing money, and he just went, "Oh," and threw his cash in the air. It's fucking great.
And that's what that one Chinese man sounded like, and you can't check that.
Yeah.
So
Fair words. That's Mandarin for congratulations, you little cunts.
let's have a breaky times. Not one of you has complimented me on my jumper.
Quarter zip. It's nice. Oh,
it's got
it's
ham.
horrible now.
Now
That's
it's
gone horrible.
nicer.
That's horrible.
For the
I
audio
love a
listeners,
quarter zip because you can ham it up.
Hams out, mate.
Ham, mate.
Abu
out.
fucking Hamza.
Shemaev.
That was horrible, that.
Abu Hamza wouldn't wear this.
Why have you got a hairy t-shirt on underneath?
You don't know Abu Hamza.
Abu Hamza.
It's very rare I go t-shirt free under a jumper, but it's a lovely spring day.
Hottest day of the year so far.
That's not true.
It is.
It isn't.
I think yesterday
It's
was
one of those
hotter.
things they just say every now and then because there's no news.
You say it in November.
No, I think it's a measurable thing, and you go, this is the highest number so far this year.
No, it's
No.
not.
And then they
You're a
tell
liar.
us.
But it isn't though, is it? We've been outside
I
and
don't,
it isn't.
I don't think they mean at our house. I think they mean
Well, why am I asked? Well, it's like in fucking Bournemouth. Who's asked?
It's like when they say...
Another shout for Bournemouth.
Bournemouth has the hottest temperatures, doesn't it?
Lucky Bournemouth.
Yeah. I think they've got the record in the UK.
There's fog in Wigan.
Always.
Lucky them. You don't have to look at it.
They were like pea soup.
But do you know when they say like, "Oh, it's hotter than Ibiza and Corfu in the Britain"? I don't want to be in Britain. I want to be in a cold Corfu rather than a hot fucking.
Yeah, and also, but also when they
not
do that,
Spain.
Ibiza's like, cool, yeah, see me next week.
Yeah.
Like when we've
See you
got
after
a whole
class.
summer that's hotter than Ibiza.
It's not Spain.
It's like when Birmingham go, "We've got more canals than Venice." Yeah, but Birmingham stinks more as shit.
There's more needles in them.
Venice.
We've got some questions.
Ooh.
And I tell you what, I love questions. And I also love jingles for questions.
I'm not the guy from Green
Evan D says, this is stand-up related. Hello, fellas. Recently went to a well-known comedy club in London.
London, England.
London, England.
Wow.
The five,
Refuses to name it.
Top
a
secret.
well-known comedy club.
Whoa.
the 5 acts that were on were all class, but the compere stunk the gaff out. He seemed more preoccupied with his own shite jokes and not the show. We were sat next to the comics before they came on stage, and even they were visibly frustrated. How do you deal with a shite compare? Do you reference it, or is that too muggy? Keep up the good work, boys. And that's from
You don't
Evan.
reference it because they've got to go. If you're the compare, you reference a shit act.
You got to. You've got to.
There's a fine line there, isn't there? You can't be too much of a cunt about it.
And also, they can't do like 6 out of 10. You go, "Fucking hell, mate." That was like they've got to really ruin the gig.
They've got to
A unanimous stinker has to have been had for
Yeah.
you to be like, okay.
Oh dear.
The problem with compares in London, at London comedy clubs, and there's a few exceptions to this. The Comedy Store, in particular, book excellent compares. They do book that. They really prioritise that. like getting to host it is seen as like a badge of honour still at the store. All of the other London comedy clubs, the compere gets paid less than everyone else. And
It's the hardest job.
Yeah, but like they don't see it like that, do they? They're just like, oh, we just need a host. So it's really new, inexperienced comics trying to do crowd work and hold the show together. And then often, because like we are getting a bit more like America here, where there's big acts and people with followings who are dropping into comedy clubs and doing sets, especially midweek. And that means the bill is often stacked with like people you see from telly, or they've got their own podcasts or specials on Netflix or whatever. They're doing sets and the compare's 6 months, a year, 2 years in, and they're just a bit weaker.
And they haven't got much stage time because it's a busy bill. What are you meant to do as a compere if you've got 3 minutes?
Exactly.
Isn't that a bit backwards though? Surely you need to put the person who's trustworthy the most to be controlling.
Honestly,
the show.
most comedy clubs will put importance on a compere.
Yeah.
But obviously in London it's happening like that, and a lot of independent gigs around the country, it is a
haven't
semi-pro compere.
They haven't got the money to pay someone to do that, like the Comedy Store does, because the ticket price is a decent ticket price, and they own the building that it's in, and there's no rates and stuff that like other comedy clubs are paying rent in London, and it's very expensive to run a comedy club. So they're like, right, well, it's 80 quid to compare. And if you compare, you can't go and double. Whereas if you're doing an 80 quid set, that seems like the same fee, but you're doing 4 gigs. So you're earning 320 quid in a night, and the compare's only earning 80. So they're on a quarter of the money.
Yeah.
I think it feels less special now as well. Do you remember when you'd go to like a comedy, like before I went to become a comedian, I'd go to comedy and be like, oh my God, the person who's weaving it all together, coming up with shit. And you realise obviously there's bit of improvisation.
Hey, but when you're new to it, you don't see the joins, do you?
No, it's phenomenal.
Oh, it's magic.
But now, because like there's loads of crowd work clips, you just go, oh yeah, that's comedy, innit? And I think some of the newer acts are just on stage to try and get a clip. They're not trying there to, like, Dan was our sort of Zeus. Do you remember when we started and we'd be like, that guy in the trilby,
He's magic.
fat as fuck, but he's so funny.
His fatness makes him funnier.
Yeah.
He's so jolly and harmless.
His blazer's so tight.
Yeah, I did wear a blazer sometimes. Fucking idiot. I once watched a compere just be so... You know what? I've done this a few times. I remember another example. I fucking hated when compares went, so what's your name? And they give you a name. And then they'll go, what'd you do? And it's just it's a normal job. It's a normal job. And they go, comedy cul-de-sac.
I hate comedy cul-de-sac.
I've gone on and then talked to that. Like, I fucking... Especially if they were a bit of a cunt, the act. And you're like, don't make the crowd feel bad because you're fucking shit. Don't go out and just fucking randomly start pointing at people going, well, what do you do? It's boring. It's not boring. You're just fucking rubbish. And then just for my own entertainment, I'll be like, I'm gonna go and do a bit of crowd work. And I might not have ripped it, but there's always
it's
something.
Just there's what you could have done.
Yeah, oh God, fucking eggy cunts.
I did a cunt trick the other week. I was pleased with myself, but also I was a bit like, that was a real cunt move. So there was a bad MC on, real bad. And it was a dead nice gig run by really nice guys. The place was packed. And they were just doing the same shit that we've seen over the past 10, 15 years. What are you? Oh, drug dealer. Oh, that shit. And then they tried to do a bit about the name of female dick pics. And they were like, and this is what it should be called, like a funny photo. And you're like, this is rubbish. And then this is shite. And I was backstage, I was like, I've got a bit that's better than this. And I just came out, I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. And I just go, surely it's called a Polaroid. And then I just heard a sigh from backstage. I was like, yes!
Did you ever, when I started out, there was a lot of very combative compares.
In the Jonglers days.
Well, so Jonglers days, but I was at the Hyena in Newcastle, which could be a war zone.
Right.
Regularly was like rough. And then at the Frog. And I've watched some compares. So much of my playfulness was learned from watching compares just bully a crowd. Like, you know when people are like, oh, I don't want to be like roasted by the compare, or I don't want them taking the piss out of me. I'm like, yeah, because back at like 20 years ago, there was some acts who fucking vicious.
Yeah.
And it was like there was no
All right, mate,
joy
got your
in it.
beard, is it? Punching at you big fat cunt. Look how fat and ugly you are. And she's all right, actually. Shut up. Sit there. Start clapping. Start cheering.
And by the way, there's a way of doing pretty much exactly that banter in so much more of a fun, playful way.
Yeah.
I used to hate those bully compares. And it's because they played Warzones. So like, oh, it was really rough the last time I played it. So I'm just going to treat them like animals. And you're like, what are we doing here?
What if they're not?
They're not-
What if they're just people who've come out for a nice time tonight?
Oh, I hated it. Josh Wallace says, yes, the boys got a question for the pod. I read that Stephen Graham offered to adopt Thomas Thurgood when he was younger after his
that's
mum
wrong.
died.
That's not true.
No, it is. He did adopt
name's
him and he
Thomas
changed his name to
Turgoose.
Turgoose.
Oh, sorry, I just read. I didn't know how to say it. If you could
So
have...
you
No,
just went
Dave's just spelled it wrong.
All right, okay, it's Thomas Turgood. When he was young, I don't know who...
Still,
Goose.
yeah,
Imagine a
I
goose
don't know.
turning.
What?
Tear goose. Imagine a goose. just
Imagine I'm
turning.
a goose. Ready?
Oh, it's Turgoose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Turgood.
No.
No.
Who is this person?
He's the little kid from This Is
He's
England.
Sean
England.
from This Is England.
Oh.
He played golf with Adam like last year.
Oh, well, who hasn't? He's a golfer. If you could adopt and become a parental figure to any celebrity, who would you choose?
Right now, Justin Bieber needs it, doesn't he?
I see.
He doesn't need another strange man over the age of 30.
No, he needs someone
care
to
of
go,
him.
hey, there are people who are okay. Don't worry.
I seen something the other day about Justin
losing
Bieber,
it.
and it was, can you imagine the hell he's living in right now? Because this is probably, it's about the Diddy stuff. And it's like, he probably went through quite a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And then he's managed to get out from under it, get a quieter, more normal life with a wife and child. And he's calmed down a bit, moved a little bit away from the industry. And he's like, I've just got this really dark secret that I don't want anyone to know. And now, through no fault or volition of his own, everybody knows.
He got fiddled by Diddy.
Yeah.
And
Like, how awful's that?
Is this who you want to adopt?
No.
Sounds like hard work, mate.
Well, they're saying conservative shit like Britney now, as in like he's going to go off the rails enough where he needs someone to basically take over for him.
Yeah, but that seems a bit dark, the whole Britney stuff, doesn't it? Where like the sister's in charge of everything and...
No, not anymore. She's got it back, but now they're like, maybe it needs to go back.
Yeah,
again.
imagine going asking your dad for spends when you've had a number one. Not a pisser.
I've done my wee, can I have sweeties?
I think he needs a nice arm round.
I'd adopt a Formula One driver.
They're small anyway.
Would it be
They're
that?
so young. Have you seen Kimi Antonelli that's just got the fucking Mercedes drive? His picture came up. You know, they do this is where they're on the grid. The cunt's 11. I've never seen a young... I know I'm getting older, so my perception of this is changing. Kimi Antonelli
He's not even got his provisional yet.
is a...
I was going to say, do you have to have to drive to do a Formula One race? Do you
No.
have to have passed your test?
No.
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 Really?
No, because... No, you don't
don't
have to have a
stop
driving
at,
license.
Yeah, you don't have to stop at zebra crossings at the Grand Prix.
That's mental. They have
That
driving
would make it
licenses.
better,
So they're
though.
not the best drivers in the world, then, are they?
Yes,
drive
Formula One
jets.
drivers need an FIA super license, but technically you
Is
don't
this
need,
like a HGV
You don't need a
one?
driving
you don't need a
license.
driving license. You need a license with the FIA.
A license to drive.
Surely a super license is harder than our one.
It would make it better, by the way, if there was stuff like zebra crossings and that in the Formula One.
Yeah.
As a child.
Imagine trying to text your mum back as you.
How fucking old is he? I'll be his
Hold on.
little fuck.
Speed cameras would be good.
Yeah.
That's 30 miles an hour. Like, fuck!
Or even worse, a mobile speed camera changes on each lap. You know, oh, fucking hell.
Just in the pit lane and someone's putting like parking tickets.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to... Did they test for alcohol? Can you get
I don't think
done
you
for
can
drink
get,
driving at
Surely
Formula
you
One?
get drug tested. So that would show
So
up.
a few martinis.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. That's why they have the big wine at the end.
Wine.
That's what it is.
Big wine. That's a 12 quid bottle, that.
That's what they have.
That compressed wine.
You know what I mean? Fizzy wine.
Champagne.
Yeah, no, but that's fizzy wine, isn't it? It is.
It is, yeah. But big wine made you
Big
seem...
wine's like a big red.
Box like that with a nozzle on the end.
Do I have to be older? Do I have to be older than the person I'm adopting?
I already like where your head's going. Go for it.
Can I not have someone older?
With a bit of money.
Yeah.
You basically being like one of those girls who marries like a
Yeah.
rich billionaire.
I
Sugar
was thinking
funny.
like I'd adopt like Idris Elba. He's handsome, isn't he?
No, I
If I
think
was
you need to.
single, like me and Idris going on the pole, he'd be a great wingman, him.
You'd still have to get childcare for him.
Why
Though.
don't you just be his mate then?
What?
You just be his mate rather than his like.
Well, I will if I ever meet him. I'll work on it. But that's not the question, Carl. It's not who do you want to be friends with.
And also, do you want to cheer him up in a couple of years when they announce the new Bond? Are you like, soz, mate?
They reckon the new Bond might be that Scouse lad,
From
James Nelson Joyce.
Yeah. I'd love it.
Oh, mate, a Scouse
Shaken,
Bond would be so
not scared.
sick.
Yeah.
He's not. I don't think he's going to lean into it.
Purple Aki's the bad guy in the next one.
The Queen of Scotty Road cameo.
Oh, please make a Scouse Bond. We deserve it.
I just hope if he does get it, they let him keep his Scouse accent and they don't make him be all fucking elocution twat up.
Yeah, but
How Scouse is he now?
Dead
he's
Scouse.
so Scouse.
you've seen him. You know who we're talking about. From This City Is Ours. You've watched it, haven't you?
Have you seen Time with Sean Bean? The prison one?
No.
He looks. He's got
Have
a
you seen
Scouse face
1,000
as well.
Blows?
Oh, 1,000 blows.
Yeah.
Seen the
It's
porno?
Carl's Mars autobiography film. Biopic.
Autobiography film.
Yeah, you laughed at Big Wine.
She's directed it.
Hey. Oh yeah, he looks Scouse.
He looks like Sinead O'Connor there.
Him in that suit, he's going to look like he's going court to try and get full custody of his kids.
But he's dead Scouse, yeah? It'd just be fucking class, wouldn't it? What's happening? Q, lad. What fucking didgeridoo have you got for me today, brother?
Shake it, don't stir it, lad.
Bottle of Peroni, lad. Shaking,
Yeah.
not stirred.
There was a bevy there, like
Fucking
shaking
hell,
us.
it's like
shaking
Formula
us,
One,
stirred,
mate.
sir. I don't want anything shaking us there, lad. Just fucking make sure the G's getting ready to be split.
I was
brother.
drinking Guinness, yeah.
Is that
Should be.
splitting the G? Is that just a member of the MI? Go and split G now. And she's like, please, not another one. Not after Daniel Craig.
And Jennifer Ellison to be his Bond girl as well. Remember her?
Still.
I do remember her. She was
I know she's like a 38-year-old mother of 3 or something, but back in the day.
big sexual awakening for me, yeah.
Oh,
My nan got me a calendar for Christmas once.
that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's like, go on, treat yourself to 12 wanks throughout the year.
12 wanks of Christmas.
Yeah.
Would you pick a day, like a specific date each month?
Yeah.
Opening day.
Oh, yeah.
innit?
When I was 13, I was only wanking once a month. Only on the 12th.
Opening day.
Be a
as well.
pinch wank first of the month.
Yeah.
What, you wank someone else off? Oh, it's the first of the month, mate.
We're going to do some have a words.
Let's round this off and then fuck off to Italy.
Italia.
I'm going to get rubbed first.
Italia.
Huh?
Going to get rubbed
It's the
first.
first of the month.
Have anyone been to Genoa?
No.
I'd like to go to Genoa.
Do you know her?
Is it
No.
Genoa or Genoa?
It's Genoa.
No, it's just
Genoa. Have you seen Sampdoria in the doldrums, mate? Can we buy Sampdoria?
the football team or the city?
Well, they're in Genoa.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah. They're like the other team.
What's up? You put your hand up.
I just fixed me hat.
Oh, right. I thought you meant.
That was amazing gaslighting when he sat there with his hands there. You got your hand up? I'm your boss. You
Just rubbing one out under the table. It's the 12th.
Yeah, I've got your hand up.
All right, lads, love the pod, love the live shows, all that good stuff, but I need you to have a word with my mate Dave. Now, Dave is a world-class tight arse. Every time we go to the pub, he suddenly develops a severe case of T-Rex arms when it's his round. His wallet hasn't seen daylight since 2017, but here's the kicker. We went for a curry the other night, and when the bill came, Dave suddenly had a very important phone call, the classic just popping outside lads move. We all chipped in, paid up, and when Dave came back, all innocent, he had the audacity to go, oh, did you already pay? Oh, shit, I was going to get it. Was you, Dave? Were you really? So, lads, please have a word with this financial Houdini before he starts charging us a tenner just to sit next to him. Cheers, Chris.
Get out.
I feel like the end of that's a bit much. I would like to say to people who do this, you're not subtle. Everyone, all of your mates, all of them talk about you behind your back.
Yeah, there's a WhatsApp group that you're not in.
Yeah, you're not getting away with it. It's not like, oh, they never get onto this. Everyone is onto it. Don't do it. It makes you look like the biggest bellend in the world and no one likes you.
Yeah, you think you're frugal and everyone thinks you're a cheap, horrible cunt. Like, being smart with money is sound. If that's what you're
Well, pay
like,
well.
great. But don't be a fucking rat who's basically stealing from your mates.
Also, if I had a mate who did this consistently to this sort of blatant level, when he's out on the phone, I would call the fella over for the bill and be like, "Hiya, mate, we're going to pay for." I'd actually cover everything but his.
Yeah, when he
What,
comes
to
back in,
prove
go,
a
yeah,
point?
You owe. You still owe 30 quid.
I'd go, "Oh, we've all paid, lad, but your split's 30
Mate, if you had a reputation for this already, Like, there's no way I'd pay the bill before David come back. I'd be like, we're not letting that. I hate stuff
I'd
like
call
this.
him because he's definitely not on the phone. He's stood outside. I'd be
That'd
like,
be so funny if it rang and went straight through.
like, lad, do you want to come in
And
and
he just
pay?
went, "What's your PIN number?" But what a baller move from him. If you're that guy, I could never be that guy, but I've got friends who are that guy. He's earning.
Or he's not.
Eating. He's living a life.
Or he's not.
How you doing? This is why I understand like kitties on stag do's. Although I hate
Can't be
the
bringing your cat to a
pussies.
stag do, mate.
Oh, very nicely played.
Didn't the kitty go
4
missing
runs.
once?
What?
Haven't we been involved in the kitty that went missing once? I've got that.
Oh, there's been a few of them over the years.
I'm sorry, what?
Like a missing cat.
We're like, oh, lads, we've got no more drinks left in the kitty. And you're like, we should have at least 2 left.
The kitty went missing.
As in,
No,
like,
there was a
done.
lad who we used to go out with, and on this one particular night,
Freeway? Ew. Yeah.
he was like, I'll take the kitty tonight. And we were like, yeah, Sam. And I think we all put 20 quid in, and I think we'd all had 3 drinks. And he was like, yeah, kitty's gone. That was it. We need to throw back in. And we were all like, right.
Oh, that is. Oh,
You can't be like,
That's
hang
prison
on,
time.
No, hang on. Because then you're like,
But, and
tips.
also, this was like 10 years ago, so it's like drinks were probably like, what, 4 quid each? So we've had 12 quid's worth of drinks, but 20's gone.
You've got at least one more with tips.
is this
really.
one of your mates?
No.
No, this is a,
A
mate
friend of a
mate.
friend in the larger circle of people.
Why
we used
was
to
he
hang around
allowed
with.
to be in charge of
It
the
is
kit? Surely,
mental.
Because, like,
you give
it-
it to the out of the have a word gang. If you were doing kitty, who's it going? Who's the trustiest?
The mathematician.
Not you, mate. I'm not saying you're not trustworthy, but
The
you,
kitty
you would
gone
come back
missing
with a
for the
new
wrong
fucking
reason.
pair of chaps.
I think Steve would be a good kid. I mean, basically, he's our business manager, isn't he? So it really makes sense that we're putting a lot of the finance.
Steve, I've added a sponsorship on top of it, boys. We can drink more. You got Manscaped involved.
You are going to have to do a Huel ad just in front of the kitty.
Spreadsheet
A
for you.
huel chaser.
You got. I honestly think if it's your proper mates and you've got someone you don't trust with money,
But this was the
they
first
shouldn't be your
air of
proper
this, wasn't
mate.
it? It wasn't like he was an untrustworthy person. He became that
It was a
night.
lesson learned. We're like, oh, right.
Did you move the kitty responsibilities on?
I think we just like, oh, we just stick to ourselves now because we were like, none of us should go, lad, you've just pocketed a one a day because you've had a drink and it's the boys, you don't want to make it eggy, but you're like, something's happened there. We're not going to do that again.
It's the same type of cunt that wants to be banker in Monopoly, innit? I'll do it. You go, will you?
Can I tell you what my
start
plan
putting
was?
50s in and
I haven't
100s.
told you what we played Monopoly recently, and I was getting battered. So I thought I'm gonna have to use the dark arts here. So the ones, the £1 notes.
Yeah.
They're very useful. Everyone needs them. So I, through the course of the
Hoarded
game,
them.
collected all the ones and then added an interest to them. So someone went, oh, I owe Adam 11 quid, but you got all the ones. I'd be like, you can have a one. It's a £5. And then what he did was he all just had
Like
a
they did
tip.
with Prime, the
Yeah.
drink.
Well, they
People
all just
like,
started tipping each other. They were like, lad, don't worry, lad, I'll leave it. And I'm like, hang on. And I had loads. I was basically like Zimbabwe. I had ones that were fucking I thought, I've got to try something. They just all fucked me off and all just lived in these man. I was like, all right, I'm done. But I had loads of ones.
Do you know a couple of years ago they tried and do chip and pin Monopoly?
It's still there. You
It's
can do it on
gash.
your phones now as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not fun, is it?
No. You want to be able to cheat.
You'll be able to show your money off as well. It's like a flex to scare everyone else.
Oh, it's the best thing when you're a kid and you're like, I'm so rich.
Yeah.
Do you know what I wanted as a kid? Do you remember? I think it was on Friday Night Project when it was Alan Carr
Justin
and the
Lee
other
Collins.
one.
That is fucking impossible. Brand new.
What is it, Huel?
No, it's this coffee.
Why don't you take your top off and just have your t-shirt underneath?
Thank God it's not a Huel.
Why don't you go Bert Kreischer on it?
Is that like the margarine replacement for Huel done?
I'm really unhappy about this.
Thank God it's not Huel.
It's because it's like the condensation's come down the fucking cup and onto the fucking thing.
It's only water.
It's only water.
It'll be
It'll
water
dry.
then. Unless coffee's melted today. Smell it?
Well, condensation doesn't extract. It's not osmosis.
It's
Ooh,
coffee,
semi-permeable.
You've
membrane.
spilled it.
Oh, his head's gone.
What were you saying then, Brennan?
What was I
You're
saying?
playing Monopoly or something.
Some game that you
Some
play.
game.
I was playing a game.
You've lost it.
I think I've got dementia.
That was the game.
What?
Tell me about the Cambridge finger again.
Oh my God. 3 shakes a day and a sensible meal.
Sounds like me when I was 14.
Sounds like me when I'm hungover.
What? Go on.
Have you played Risk?
Risk is great.
Risk is great. I've had some arguments playing Risk when if you make a kind of under the cosh, like alliances with people, like that's how you find out who's the victim in your friend group. If you've got like a wartime alliance and you're killing all of their territories.
I played Risk with Seneca's family on New Year. Seneca's dad. We got really competitive, and then we had to leave the board on the table for the next morning. And Seneca's dad got up in the night. She was like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I'm going to lock the door downstairs because I feel like Carl's going to go down and cheat." And the cat, when we opened the door, the cat jumped on in the morning and knocked all the stuff off. I went, "It looks like I won then, didn't it?" He's like, "No, the game isn't over." I mean, the game will never be over. He's not here no more. But
Well, you won that one, Carl.
maybe I did win.
That sounds like an extreme game of Risk.
Isn't like Risk like an army one?
Yeah, we can move around the board. You have to like gain.
How competitive was this guy?
Oh, I mean, it's like me. I was the same, but like, yeah.
Also, he plays games in 2 parts. You do it once and the game's done.
But the game wasn't done.
Yeah, but you just have to put it away then. You don't go come back tomorrow.
No,
for part 2.
we wanted to. The cat fucked anyway. And that was
Imagine if you get to heaven one day and he's just there and it's all set up exactly how it was that night and he's like, I've been fucking... He's done nothing his entire time in heaven. He's like...
But it's all the board's white 'cause it's heaven.
I think that's a pod, ladies
That's
and
a
gents.
pod!
Brennan, thank you so much for coming
That's
in.
a pod.
You've helped us get across the line. Thank you for your support, Lids, and I hope you enjoy all these extra episodes. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah. They won't see any difference. This is just life.
Now you'll all be more tanned.
I think you'll be less available.
Yeah, I think I'll be.
You know what I mean?
I'll be
Because
more.
I think people know that really.
I'll be more present though.
Right.
Yeah, it's battered right now.
No, you've done very well. Very proud of you. Excited to see you get married.
Bye, boys and girls.
Bye,
Ciao,
everybody.
everyone. Bye.